to the conversation on tea or coffee. We're talking about award. We're talking about excellence. But the conversation is awarding academic excellence this morning, and we brought to you the story of Faith Odusi, who is a math whiz and has made us proud as a Nigerian and as a 15-year-old girl that just wants to do well in mathematics. But that's not the only conversation that we're going to be having this morning, because we have our guest live with us in the studio. I am talking about Ogunribido Emmanuel. He is the organizer of the Google Mathematics competition, which started 2018. The competition has helped a lot of students to gain confidence in themselves as regards to subjects mathematics. We all know how mathematics may be a problem, or he would probably debunk the myth when we start having that conversation. But good morning, Emmanuel. Thank you for joining us this morning.
All right, good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
All right, so now I need to ask you this. Why did you choose to have a competition in mathematics? I mean, when my co-anchor and I were having a conversation about math, both of us were like, no, we really didn't enjoy maths in school, so there was no way I would have even joined the math competition and all of that. But you decided to go head on to, you know, encourage students to want to write maths and even do a competition in it. Why did you start that?
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for the viewers. And this, firstly, I would like to say, me personally, I love mathematics. Personally, I love mathematics, and mathematics really helped me, especially when I was young, when I was in primary school. You know, when teachers give us quantitative, and this will be the best way to train up child when they are given assignment, especially quantitative, so the child can able to think. Is a quantitative reasoning. So when the child reasoning very well, the brain of the child will be very, very sharp and very smart. So I love mathematics when I was small. So I put interest in it. So that and when I was in secondary school, when I was in SS3, I went for a cowbell competition. When I was in SS2 also, I went for competition. So I had so much love, and I want others to be a partaker of this also, to be able to challenge themselves.
Okay, I mean, it shows that you are really, for you to have created this competition, it shows that you have actually been a lover of maths from the onset.
Exactly.
But let me shy away from the competition a little bit. Let's talk about regular people. So in a class of 20 people, you would find maybe just 5 that are really interested in math, and the other 15, you'd have 5 people that are they are trying, and the others that don't care, and that's because of fear. They've developed fear from childhood that math is a subject that is very hard. Math is a subject that they cannot pass. Why do you think that is so?
Okay, now let me just say this. I love that question. A lot of people run away from mathematics.
Yes.
But do you believe that mathematics is very, very easy?
No.
Okay, now let me tell you something. Now, when 1 plus 1 is 2.
Yes.
1 plus 1 can be 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. So you can use different method, you are still coming back to the same answer.
Okay.
But when you're talking about English has different area.
Yes.
Now, people run away from mathematics because they are very lazy. Let me put it that way. They are very lazy. I remember when I was still teaching mathematics, I teach mathematics and further maths when I was still a teacher. Then I noticed when I joined the school to teach, I noticed people that don't love mathematics, because if I'm teaching, I will make sure I teach you to the simplest that you're able to understand.
Okay.
I won't teach as if you are in 200 level student or 300 level student.
Okay.
I will teach you as if you don't know it at all.
All right.
So a lot of people fall in love with mathematics. In fact, as students that said I don't like, because I was bringing in further math bit by bit.
Even when you were teaching math?
Yes.
Okay.
I was bringing in further math because normally on your WAEC, it's not everything that you have to cover. There are some things that also is involved in further mathematics. So I love teaching mathematics, and people that run away from mathematics, I'm sorry to say, they are very lazy. They just want to think and don't. You have to disturb your brain. Disturb your brain. Think. Be a fast thinker. So you have to disturb your brain. So that I feel for me, I feel they are very lazy.
But do you not think that it may also be because of the tutors? Because
yes.
Sorry, let me paint the scenario. I remember at the times whereby, okay, you give an example where English language or learning other subjects have different sides. For instance, literature, you would have to, look at all the genres of literature. You'd have to write, read, think, create scenarios, write stories and all of that. That can also be complex. Do you understand? However, for maths, there's a lot of calculations and everything. But it seemed difficult because of tutors that were always putting it out there. They made it seem difficult because the kind of conversations that they say is, you know what, you can't know this one is that one, when you get to 100 level in school, you're going to do this and everything. But how do you think that tutors contribute to this problem?
Okay, now let me say this. When you love your teacher, you love his subjects.
True.
When you love your teacher, when I was in secondary school, let me put it that way, there's up to now to read Yoruba is kind of difficult. I'm a Yoruba boy, and let me say I'm a Yoruba guy. So to read Yoruba is kind of difficult because I don't just like the teacher. So when you love the teacher, you want to attend the class. I guess now, but because you know that I love this person, let me listen to what he or she wants to say. Let me listen to what he or she wants to say. So it depends on a tutor that is taking that particular subject, mathematics. You have to be friendly, not too harsh. Because when you are too harsh, people run away. When you are too harsh on subject, you know that people feel is very difficult. So people will run away from that subject. So you have to be calm. Have the mind of teaching, passing that knowledge to your children, to the students. So I believe any teacher that is trying to take this, you have to calm down, make student loves you very well so they can be able to understand your subject.
But what's this idea that it's only science students that should put more attention into maths? Because I know you've heard this too, where, of course, you know that in the whole secondary school sphere, there is the science, the arts, and then a commercial class. And, the science students are the ones that go on to become doctors and scientists and all of that. And the arts are law, entertainment, digital market, commercial digital marketing, etc. and all of that. But then I realized that somehow maths for science students are always science students are majorly focused on having mathematics in their core, while the students in arts are more focused in English and literature and some other things. Why is that so?
Okay, let me just answer this. Okay, we are talking about science, commercial, arts.
Yes.
Science focus more on mathematics. Why? Because it's based on calculation.
Interesting.
Now when I'm talking about science departments, we have engineering, we have different aspects that deals with what calculation. Even science is even calculation. The only calculation that is not there in science, probably let me just speak just biology.
Okay.
Chemistry, we have calculation. Physics, we have calculation. Further maths, we have calculation. I guess now. But people that pick interest in going to commercial art, especially art, they want to be an actress, they want to be a lawyer, they want to be mass communication, they want to study mass communication and all that. So they prefer speaking English. Let me just put it that way. If you are going that aspect, you should know how to speak English. Me, I don't really speak English. But when I'm talking about calculation, I think and I calculate. I think very fast. So it's different for me speaking grammar. It's not about grammar. To me, sorry to say.
It's okay.
So it's not about grammar, but it's about me getting results. You find out that when you get to office, for example, as an engineer. You're a science student, as an engineer, okay, you're on field or maybe at work. They won't ask you, they will ask you some calculation that you have to think very fast. So that is why they won't just ask you the topic you've learned in secondary school. Or maybe they'll say, okay, Mr. Bello, please, can you please come and solve this simultaneous equation? No. Okay. But they will think how, they will give you a question that you have to think very fast.
I want to know this, and it may sound like a very silly question, but I want to know, why is math so important? Why is mathematics, why is the pressure on learning mathematics very important? Because I can see how passionate you are about it. So it means that you love it so much. And you somehow have applied the fact that it helps to stimulate your brain, it helps you think fast, it helps, and you're able to apply it in your daily life. So why is it important?
To me?
Yes, to you.
Math is important. And a child that loves mathematics, like I've said earlier, will always think faster and solve problems. We always think faster and solve problems. Okay, and when I'm talking about mathematics, especially primary school, when you love mathematics, let me just put, let me use the word mathematics. Let me use quantitative, because they use quantitative reasoning. And a lot of parents, I don't know what they are doing on that aspect, and a lot of teachers also, when especially nowadays, when they give assignments, they will have to give them the solution. Let me just say pre-solution. They will just put plus, they will put minus. When you do this, no, it shouldn't be done that way. Let the child go home, think. When I was a teacher,
okay,
if I'm given assignments, I give 60 assignments.
You give 60 assignments?
I give 60 assignments. 60. And why did I give 60?
What?
No, you know what? Why did I give 60?
Why?
I don't want that child to go home and, there's some child, when you give them 5 assignments, they will finish in the class, even on the inside the school bus. They'll get home, start playing.
You see, it's good that you mentioned that. I love it.
Okay.
You see, I'm going to sit up because it's very good that we're having this conversation. We are going to enter fights this morning. You and I. Now, the good thing, and that's just me playing, and the good thing that we're mentioning all of this conversation is because we want our parents out there,
okay,
our viewers, aunties, uncles, to understand the essence of learning mathematics, having education, and academic excellence. We're still going to get into that conversation itself, because there's so many misconceptions that we need to correct and all of that. The reason why I even stopped you in that part is because at the beginning of the show, when we're talking about Faith Odunson's win, I was so happy for her and all of that. But then an idea came to my head that Faith is 15. Which means that for her to have been able to win all of these competitions, she has been studying. She studied in class, she studied after class, she studied at home. But Faith is a 15-year-old that is also a child that also needs time to rest. Because, in the interview, I saw that she wakes up 11, or I don't know if she sleeps or not, but 11 to 12, she's always studying. And it means that she probably does it every day. And it means that probably at weekends too, she does extramural classes, maybe lesson, or goes to coaching and all of that. Like, she's always trying to, so that she can be the best and also win competitions and all of that. Do you not think that that is very stressful for a child? I'm saying this to you because you mentioned something, and not because, in my own point of view, I think that children should play. There should be balance in life if you really want to be an all-round successful child. But you are mentioning something about always studying. You give 60 assignments, which we are going to fight for, but still, I want you to explain. Like, do you not think that it is very stressful?
Now, let me just answer that question. I don't think, it's not about, I'm not talking about stress. It depends on personal discipline. It's personal. Now, it's not all child can cope. Like me now, we are totally different.
Yes.
The way I handle, like, some people don't even like coming to Lagos because of traffic.
True.
Some that Lagos, let me stay in Akure, let me stay in Ibadan. That traffic. So we are different. We have different stages of learning.
Okay.
Like some students, when the teacher is teaching them something, without even writing anything, they pick it up without even going for revision, doing anything. So it depends, and some need iron hand.
For them to learn.
When you give them that iron hand, it's not that maybe some child knows that thing, but because you just say, this one is too small, don't let me, then they relax. I get it now. They relax. When I was taking home lesson, I was taking the child home lesson, and there were 3, the first and the last. If they are doing their assignments, and they didn't get, maybe the school gave them 5 assignments, and they didn't get 1 out of it, then they started crying.
Oh, why?
They want to get it. But the second born doesn't care. Like, let them flog me in school, no problem. I don't want stress. She knows it, but she doesn't want stress. So they are different kind of child like that. So some doesn't want stress, some need iron, and some want to develop themselves without teacher, without parents. So it depends. So Faith Odunsi can be a kind of person that disciplines herself. Okay, I want to be waking up this because he has a goal, he has a focus. Okay, at least I should get this thing, I should get it. So it can be a child, maybe I want to wake up 11, let me study till 1, then go to bed and sleep, and wake up around 5 o'clock to dress. Are you getting me now? So it depends on child. It's the personal stuff.
Decision. Okay, so you were saying, let's go back to you talking about the assignments that you give your students, and you're talking about you give them 60 assignments. Why?
Okay, now if I'm giving them 60 assignments, you know, all parents are not equal.
Yes.
Some will complain, you want to kill my child, this and that, and it's too much. What happened? And some really appreciate it. Because some, when the child gets home, is that leaves the home, go play, come back late at night. And some, it's not that maybe when they didn't finish the assignments, I won't flog them. But I want them to be busy at home. You know, while you are doing your assignment, you're also disturbing your brain. You are disturbing your brain. You are thinking. Some child don't even think at all. Interesting. So when you get home, you think. So I was even thinking maybe I was kind of wicked or something like that until I left that school. They were like, no, Mr. Emmanuel must come back. Ever since Mr. Emmanuel left, they're only giving my child 5 assignments. We'll just finish in the class. And come and be playing. She will not be asking, did they give us, yeah, mommy, I've done it in the class. So that seriousness, that time I took away from them to play, at least, I'm not saying you shouldn't play, but the time as
you reduced the play time. You just wanted them to be more serious and they take their mathematics more seriously than playing. Okay, so now let's talk about academic excellence. Now, we have different sorts of academic excellence and all of that, but the ones that takes the cake is maths. Yeah, and I'm mentioning maths because a lot of people have different feelings towards mathematics. Some people are very happy about it. Some people are not very happy about it. I mean, some people, when they're giving awards in school, then the best in maths is always like the biggest because, people shout, hey, people are always happy and people are always, striving to be the best in mathematics. Why do you think so?
Let me use myself as an example. I
love it.
When I was in SS1, my math teacher told me, it's good to award students. It's good, very, very good. So my math teacher told me that, Emmanuel, you are the overall best in mathematics. So I was very happy and all that. So even during the party, they award best student, overall best students, 3rd time. So during the party, they were even sharing gifts. I said, no. Let me collect this award in the front of all the parents. I get it now. So it's something of joy. So I was expecting and all that. Unfortunately, the award was given to another person. That one is by the
different conversation.
So that was later I was like, what's going on? I said that it's the owner of the school that said that this lady got best in physics, best in chemistry, best in this, that they should always also give her best in mathematics. I said it's fine, but it's good to award in mathematics so that it will make others to sit up. That you also can also do it. The person collecting the overall best doesn't have to wait. So you also can also do it. But mathematics, especially when someone gets an award in mathematics, you're like, this person, how can this person? Like, when I did competition, some, like the Faith Odunsi and all that, when they score 100 on it, I was like,
how are they able to get that?
Some students that say, see, all these people are very, very good. These children are so good. Because it's just as if we set questions together, You've already seen what I said. You just pick the right answer, and within few minutes you are done. And still score excellent. So I was like, so giving an award, at least it's good. It will make others sit up. That no, I think I can do more better.
Okay, now you are the organizer of the Google math competition, and you you make sure that you set fair questions and your students answer them, and then you award them. How does that process work? How do you go about it? How do you pick students, and how do you award them?
Okay, presently I don't have a sponsor, and what I do, because like I said earlier, I am also good in mathematics. Because I want to bring out this transparency that, okay, no partial, no exam malpractice and all that. So I set my question myself, sit down, set question myself, then type and print, and put it inside an envelope and seal it up. So nobody knows what is coming out, the question they are expecting. So nobody. And how I get schools coming in, and you know, first before you can get a lot of schools, people want to say, okay, let's try it, let's see if it's different from the one you've been going. Because I've been to so many schools, say, I know, what's your competition? No, the one we've done, they've been doing Ojo. I say, why can't you just try mine? It's not everybody are not the same. So if you are saying everybody, I'm not everybody. So this one is that Google. So just try, and coming, they see that, okay, this kind of is different and all that. So they keep saying, wow, this one is good. Like I was having a conversation with one of the teacher last week Saturday. He said after this year competition, the students that represented their school came back to school, and they have to compose themselves. They're like, what's going on? I gave you assignments, you've done it. I gave you classwork, you've done it, and they are quiet. The teacher was like, I go, what's going on? He said, ma, we thought we are the best in mathematics in our school.
You went somewhere else
until
and you saw
when we
see
people that are very, very brilliant. So it also helps. It also helps. So I award schools just to keep it up, keep on the good work.
Okay.
But this time around, a parent also messaged me from a school at Ota that I should just make sure and try my best after awarding the school, because the award goes to school.
Yes.
So I should also award the students. Because there was a time that they were like, what the award you've collected, and the child can't even remember that, okay, he won award in 2019. That if we see maybe like a certificate or an award here, so it's work out, I think so year.
So encourage the child to encourage them well
and all that.
Okay. I mean, so there's another thing that you were trying to mention, but I think that you didn't want to get into, and that's the conversation of favoritism, where, you know, you were in school, but then you give your award to somebody else, and all of that. So I'm going to read a comment. We got a comment from one of our viewers that I want us to look into. So this comment is from Tayo. Tyra says, a little dirty secret. Teachers will coordinate with other teachers and rotate their awards to their favorite students. As a senior that was giving scripts to mark, I was always in most of my teacher's office, so I hear all their conversations. They give their teacher's office, so I hear all their conversations. They give their favorite students awards, thereby making those that really deserve the awards or those that are trying in their academics feel left out. I was one of their favorites, so at the end of each session, I was always called out for an award. It was usually best in geography and English, but even in my other subjects that I didn't do so well, the teachers that were in charge of those subjects will still adore me. Now, I think that you've had that experience, so you'll be able to explain this properly. What do you think about this, and why do you think teachers do this?
Okay, mine was based on, I think, the relationship between the parents and the owner of the school. So I think they are close and all that. And when this happened, so they called the lady, because she scored best in English, no, not in best in English, she's a science student, best in physics, chemistry, and biology. So I'm like, okay, let's give this when I was in secondary school, it's very hard for us to pay school fees. So maybe they thought I'm going to school fees. So how can you just come here and start getting best in mathematics? So after that, I went to meet my messenger, but you told me, you congratulated me that I'm best. You are my teacher now. You are the one that marked this stuff. So how come I didn't get the award, and they have called a person and say, is this and that and all that? I say, no problem. And all that. So and ever since then, you just like I said, when you award the best, so others will sit up. So we all sat down. Okay, what can we do? This person can't be getting all the award. So after the close of the day, we sat down, do extra lessons and all that. Then the next year, it was a different case. So the person that got the award, we just got only one. The remaining one was shared among our friends.
Because everyone worked hard, then it was clear that you deserved the award that you were given.
And with what you said, because you read the comment and that some were favorite and all that, it's true. Some they are teachers try silly things with students.
Interesting.
So some can be maybe befriending some students and all that, and they say, okay, don't worry, you will pass. And that's what is happening in our institution now. So some I started from that. So maybe secondary school, and this person, and some, imagine you're a teacher, you are being paid, and for you to mark is a problem. You then call a student from other departments to come and mark for you.
Okay.
The question they don't even have any idea. Maybe especially maybe mathematics. Mathematics deal with workings.
Yes.
So you as a student, all you are concerned about is just the answer. Why can't you check the workings? Because workings
process.
Yes. Why can't you check? Because all those ones to attract marks. But you just say the answer is 5. Or this one's got 5. Even maybe it's best just guess or something like just prefer the mark. Because imagine art students marking science, mathematics. It's rubbish.
Interesting. Okay, I have another comment from Olamide. Olamide says, I once saw a situation in which only 2 students were slated to get about 70% of all the awards in a school of over 1,200 students. 2 students asked the teachers to consider giving the awards to other students, and the teacher said the awards will go to the ones who deserve them the most. That was the original 2 students. She was saying all of this in my presence. Imagine. It was now looking like the students were begging not to be awarded because they felt they were always the ones getting the awards and feared other students might hate them. One of them was my friend, and every time I tell him jokingly that his parents must be so proud of him with his room full of awards, he tells me he doesn't like it, and as there are no one to compete with, he usually says it's boring. And me, I'm always like, you don't even know how lucky you are. I realize that sometimes this happens too. What do you think about it?
Yes, it happens, and I don't. There's nothing we can do about it.
Why do you think so?
Because when you are good, you are good. Except I don't know how to put it. When you are, because it will be like, okay, you are good in mathematics. That one doesn't mean you should give your glory to another person else. It's not possible. You deserve it. You work for it. Let others also work for it.
Okay, so I'm reading this comment and I'm looking at different angles to it. And this is the children, the ones that are winning these awards. I mean, you are 2 out of 1,200 that is winning the best. And, this guy is talking to his friend and he realizes that the friend doesn't like that, he's the only one that is always winning this, and it is boring because there's no competition. For instance, the mathematics competition that you have, there is competition. There's children from different schools. I mean, you mentioned that some kids went back to their school with all the things that they have learned from coming to your competition, and then they've gone back to go and implement it because they met other people. So there is that, what's it called now? I mean, I am not, sorry, hold on, I need to, mention something. I'm not a fan of competitions per se. That's why I really wanted to have this conversation with you, because I want to see the idea, the minds of how people work and do all of these things. In school, I think that it is beautiful when students learn together. And yes, of course, you should award the best at every point in time. But it should be that part where you have other people, you have counterparts that you're working together. It's always very beautiful when you're running. You're in a race, you're in a sporting event, and you won by 1 second, the other person was just behind you, the other person 2 seconds, the other person 3 seconds. You see how beautiful it is, but it's also, I think that it also shows some form of, I don't want to use the word ineptitude for the tutors because that may be very heavy, but it also shows the teaching techniques of the teachers that you have out of 1,200, you have only 2 that is the best. I think that's a problem. What do you think?
Okay, thank you very much. I have to answer your question just straightforward. I don't know how to be.
Please, go on.
If 2 students have been awarded for 1,000, please, those 2 children should leave the school. They are not the best. Are you getting me? They are not the best. How can you be in a class whereby nobody competes with you? Then you have to leave the school.
I mean, like you're a local champion.
You are a local, because I can remember there are some students that they were in the school, all they get is first, and their parents will be happy and all that, say at first, wow, you're out of maybe like 20 or 30, you are the first. And when they left the school, they went to another school, they became I think 13th or 15th. So like that
20.
What happened? I was the first. Say you don't know anything. So if you have those kind of children, then the children should leave the school. They are not helping their lives, because there should be someone that why will these 2 children be getting all the? There should be someone that was because they are not competing with anybody. Even though they already they believe I'm still going to get the best. Then they are not the best.
Okay, I mean, all right. I have another comment. Okay, so now there is this question that I asked on, as an educator, how do you choose students to be academic award recipients? And so Beam says, before I answer this question, let me pose a similar question. Imagine that you're a coach. You have space in your schedule to give extra coaching to 1 athlete, but there are 2 candidates. One is awesome, he trains really hard. He listens to his coaches, he's a gift to every coach everywhere. The other is okay. He has a ton of talents but doesn't do anything with it. He doesn't train. He doesn't listen to his coaches. The choice is easy, right? But let's make it harder. What if they performed completely equally? I mean, they had the exact same track times, could lift the same amount and all that. Now, which one do you choose? Me, I'll go with the second kid. The first kid has kind of maxed out his potential, hasn't he? Success is one thing, but that isn't everything that I am looking for in a student. Sometimes I'm looking for the student who has improved. At my school, every teacher gets to choose 1 student to give an academic award to. There are no particular guidelines as how you choose. You can choose your absolute best student. I usually do. This year, I chose a student who squeaked into an A by the skin of her teeth. There were at least 2 students who had 98% in the class, but I chose this student because of how much her skills improved during the year. Those kids with 98%, they got academic awards from other teachers. She was the best choice for me because she cared more about learning and improving. Other teachers might not agree to this though and just focus on students who are always getting 100% all the time. But like I said and always say to my students, outcome isn't the only game in town. Sometimes improvement deserves a win as well. What do you think about this comment?
Okay, actually, if you're talking about you've been training as a coach, like you said as a coach, and you train someone listening to you, and someone doesn't listen to you, just trying. We said, who would you rather pick? There's a tie, right?
Yes.
Okay, to me, as a coach, I think I will pick someone that will listen to me, because someone that listens to me will always make me proud. Like I taught him or her. But someone that says, well, no, I don't. I did it myself without anybody, because and someone that I will pick, and I will pick someone that will listen, because if there's an opportunity and I have to take the person, then I can as well tell the person, I can easily correct the person as the person will listen to me, than someone that is self-independent, that nobody can talk to you. And that's what is happening in some areas. Don't let me mention is like now I'm talking about marriage. now. A husband that nobody can talk to him, and he doesn't fear anybody.
He doesn't listen to anyone.
He can beat his wife. He doesn't care. But a husband that you know that you have someone that you have to report to.
That you can talk to, a teachable man.
So you have to behave yourself.
I see. So you are a fan of students that have open hearts and open minds and are ready to learn. So you don't just look at academic success alone, you're looking at improvement.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like that you have said that, because now I'm a bit relaxed, because I was at the edge of my seat at this point of conversations, because sometimes I get very worried that sometimes teachers don't pay attention to the learning abilities of students. I must say that there are times whereby a student can be in class and they have learning disabilities and teachers don't know. And the only thing that they are looking out for is the best, 100%, 100%. And it's unfortunate because there's another child that is there that is struggling. I'm not a fan of beating children, and so because of that, I frown at it very deeply. I believe that when you have 10 kids in class, you have one that is always getting 100%. You should look into the one that is getting 10. Why are you getting 10 and the others is getting 100%? Is it because you are lazy? Is it because you are not studying well? Is it because you don't understand what I am talking about? And I would I would continue to do this until this child understands. And if it's a learning disability, the parents have to be involved, because I think that then we can work hand in hand to make this, work. I really applaud you for all that you do, especially for this mathematics competition. We came to cover it and I watched it and I saw how much these students are putting into wanting to do good, and that's amazing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for all that you do, and I hope that it grows bigger and you get the opportunity to reach out to more students and go around just to preach the good word of mathematics. Now that we've had this conversation, I'm thinking about it. Maybe I'll pay more attention to maths. But it has been a wonderful conversation with you, Emmanuel, for joining me on Tea or Coffee this morning.
Thank you very much.
We just had a conversation with Emmanuel on awarding academic excellence, and we've been able to break down different aspects. We had a deep conversation on maths because we realized that a lot of people shy away from mathematics, and he has mentioned that sometimes he may be the tutor, but try as much as possible to work in it and practice. You may be better at the maths problem that you have.
Dear viewer, I care about you so much and think about you every segment of every show.
Each moment that we shared, I hold dear to my heart and cannot wait to unpack even more exciting times with you.
I genuinely want to see you smile today with positive vibes all the way.
Your love, tea or coffee?